Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 13.
I need you to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Listen here. Before this review, we did an emergency deep dive. I need y'all to check that out. I think this will actually give you a more profound, detailed response of how I really felt about the Fire Pit episode of last night. But tonight, whew, there's a saying, Blair. It says that when you come for the king, you best not missed. In America, we missed. But we will get another shot to get Huda out of here.
Okay.
We will get another shot. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this episode, please.
So Charlie has been dumped from the villa. Hannah is bawling, saying it's not fair.
Yeah.
He pulls her for a final chat, and he tells her not to forget him. If she doesn't leave here with somebody, then he will fly out to meet her. So they kiss. And we move on. Ace asks why Austin picked Taylor to leave the villa. And Nick says, you see, your decision sent your best friend home. Austin didn't know what to do. He thought Jeremiah and Huda had a pretty strong connection.
Of course you did.
So Nick turns the conversation to Jeremiah and says, look, the biggest problem y'all had is a man making pancakes. Y'all are closed off, and it's been tunnel vision since day one. Jeremiah is saying, why are you telling me how to date? And they're telling him, look, she's putting hickeys on your neck so that way you can't talk to other women. Do you see what's going on? Ace says, you don't see how that's crazy. It's BS. You're lying, and that's scamming.
Yeah.
Nick says America thinks this is scamming as well. So Jeremiah says America isn't in his relationship. He doesn't care what anyone feels about how he feels about someone.
Here's the thing. Let me talk about Charlie just for 30 seconds. Hey, let's put that time limit back on Love Island USA of how long somebody can stay in the villa after they voted off.
Yeah.
I did not need Charlie over here trying to make it seem like, you know what, find me once you leave the villa. Here's the thing, Charlie. I don't know if you know, but I'll let you know. It was an inside job. Hannah's going to forget about you the minute she's in that man's bed. You get what I'm saying? So, Charlie, we only voted that way because she basically told us to vote that way.
Yeah.
She basically gave us the signal of, hey, I have a bigger spark with Pepe. So that's what we did. Now, when it comes down to this conversation right here, I told y'all Austin got a monkey in his brain clashing the symbols. His vote literally made no sense. Right? It literally made no sense. And right here, I like the fact that, guess what? The guys did not go to the side. The guys did not split up, and they're not having this conversation privately. I like the fact they say, hey, yo, why did you vote for Taylor? Also, Jeremiah, this is how we feel about your relationship. She is placing actual hickeys on you as a do not touch, do not go near. Whole time, she told the girls that she had sex with you way quicker than she told you that she was a mom.
Yeah.
Just so basically to let the girls know, hey, I basically marked him. He's mine. It is what it is. Y'all having sex and building this whatever bond y'all want to call it, and y'all not even closed off. So I do like the fact that the guys confronted him, and Jeremiah, truth be told, whenever there's confrontation, that is an opportunity for you to actually prove your relationship. And in this moment, guess what? You showing yourself, as you show yourself throughout the relationship with Huda, to basically kind of cowered away in some form or fashion. What is your thoughts, Blair?
Yeah, I was just happy for the honesty, really.
Yeah.
I was happy that the guys, once they got their votes out, they explained themselves. They went to explain themselves again as to why they felt like the relationship wasn't working out and why they made the vote to get rid of Huda.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah, like he said, it's his relationship. It's his right to do things however he wants to. And that's absolutely fine. It's his prerogative. But the thing is that there are cracks and you're acting as though they're not.
Yes.
You know, there are real situations, your whole body being marked up and you're not being honest. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, if you were really into her and really, you know, loved and cared about her the way that you say that you do, you know, I feel like that there would be, like you said, a little bit more backing of the relationship. But I think Jeremiah knows that this thing is toxic.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's lying about it as though he doesn't see what we all see is frustrating as well. And I think I agree with Ace with the scamming part. If you want to get locked in with somebody day one, ride your way out to the end so that way y'all can win the money. But nobody's buying it.
No.
You know? But the thing is, if you really like this person, if the relationship is really true, then y'all gonna fight to be together. And let's see if it happens. Blair, let's see if you actually fight.
You ain't wrong whenever you're right. This was actually an opportunity. Truth be told, the way that Jeremiah takes this conversation, as we're gonna see him basically mope around throughout the whole villa, this was actually a perfect situation to prove your relationship and prove how you feel. Because everything that the guy said was facts, but also everything that Jeremiah said was facts in the sense of, hey, you can't tell me how to date. Hey, is the whole point of coming on Love Island is to find someone you connect with and stay with them and basically build that out? Yes, but whole time you got to prove it and not just let it be words. Yeah. Right now, it's just words, Jeremiah, and we don't believe you. And truth be told, the reason why we about to see how he's about to move, we got to remember, Jeremiah let the cat out the bag already in episode 3 when he's basically said, when we win this thing, whoa, we on episode 3,
and we'll see about the kid and whatever later.
Exactly. So you over here talking about some when we win this thing. What do you mean when we win this thing? Now the reason why Jeremiah is kind of taking a back seat, because he don't know why America feel what they feel. He's like, is it me? Is it her? Okay, I need to basically reevaluate my game plan. But is it a game plan, or do you like Huda or not? Prove it.
Yeah. So the girls are chatting, and Huda said, we found each other. It's not our fault. It's how God planned it. And America hates her. Olandria is telling her, look, girl, America might not hate you. They might just want you to wake up, be a little less delusional, and, be open a little bit, be a little more open-minded. And there's probably something that they're seeing that we're not. Huda thinks that America thinks she's not good enough for Jeremiah, and we hate her.
Listen here. The answer is yes. The answer is not either or. The answer is both. Right? At the end of the day, I love the fact of what Olandria said, because it is 100% wrong. And I love the fact that she's planting seeds of basically not Huda taking accountability. Basically, Olandria over here saying, hey, maybe Jeremiah is doing some things or saying some things, or America is seeing some things that, you're not seeing, and maybe they are saving you. No, don't think of it as saving you. This is how America feels. America do not rock with Huda. Period. So Huda could be with anybody, and truth be told, they have already decided, because I didn't vote, America has already decided that, guess what, Huda, you are not going to win this season. We are going to break up this couple, and either or, if we don't like you by yourself or we don't like you with a couple, Huda has shown herself individually, without being in a couple, but individually, that guess what, you're not a girl's girl, you basically disrespectful, you think you run the place and things of that nature, you throw your relationship in people's faces, and you make people feel uncomfortable. So at the end of the day, if America like you or not, I'm not saying America should take it too far to where they over here going to her comments and stuff like that. Don't do that. Hey, I need America to touch grass. This is a TV show. But my thing is, at the end of the day, America has spoken in the sense of, Huda, we do not want to have you win, because we do not believe you are really a nice girl, good person on the show. It just is what it is.
And for me, I want to make it clear, I do not hate Huda.
Yeah.
I do not know Huda.
I don't care about Huda, yeah.
So I do not hate that girl, and I think that a lot of the times that people conflate people not rocking with somebody as hating them, and there might be some people that actually hate this lady, but I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, they're weirdos.
I think that when it comes to Huda, I think that the way that she goes about calling the women B words, the way that she isn't welcoming to the new people that come, and how, like you said, she makes the island an uncomfortable and hostile work environment.
Oh yeah.
That's not enjoyable to watch as a viewer. And I get some people are like, well, Huda's a villain, she's entertainment, like you don't want to get rid of your entertainment. I'm cool with somebody who has redeeming qualities. Yeah. And I haven't seen Huda's redeeming qualities. You can be a villain, but you got to have something redeeming, and I ain't seen it yet.
And that's the Blair perfectly said. You on the road tonight, because here's the thing about it. Huda had it in the bag.
Yeah.
When Huda came in, everybody flooded to Huda, basically like, you know what, you are our new Leah and things like that. But it's like you said, there's no redeeming qualities. She's not funny. She's not nice and things like that. Until you make it known that you're not after her man, she's going to call you the B word. Put it like this. Let me make it clear, because there's some people that just don't understand. So switch the roles. Let's say Jeremiah was acting like Huda, right? And Jeremiah was the one that was possessive, and he was obsessive, and he was the one calling people out their names and things like that, and basically putting a whole ownership over Huda and things like that. How would you feel about the guy? You wouldn't like the guy. How come it's hard to see it now when Huda's the one doing it? But if Jeremiah was to do it, if Jeremiah was the one that every time Huda expressed herself, Jeremiah would be like, well, how about tonight we take a shower? How about tonight you turn over? Hey, guys, we had sex. Like, y'all would look at Jeremiah as in like, oh, my goodness, he's not protecting her. Oh, my goodness, he's toxic. Oh, my goodness, we need to get him out the villa. Huda is literally doing the same thing that we would basically give a guy flack for, but she just a menace right now.
But I also want to say that everyone has the opportunity for a comeback story. And I think America loves a comeback story. America loves someone being redeemed, seeing the wrong in their ways, and turning over a new leaf.
Yeah.
And yes, it would have been great personally for me to see Huda go because her attitude has been trash. But since she's here and she's been given a wake-up call, can you turn over a new leaf? Can you show up differently? Can you show up as the person that you say you are versus how you've been acting? And I think that if she was able to do that, then she might have a different trajectory in the villa.
Yeah.
For some people, you already made your first impression.
True.
So,
and that's and here's the thing, and we are going to move on. I think that would have been true for Huda, and that could have been possible for Huda if she didn't show up the way she showed up tonight. I think tonight basically put the stamp on, hey, we go put a postal stamp on your behind,
okay,
and we go send you back to North Carolina, okay, baby girl? But go ahead, Blair.
So Charlie actually leaves. He was around this whole time.
I'm about to say, thank you. Let's put that time limit back on. 2 minutes and get up out of here.
Hannah's crying, holding the picture from them in the photo booth while she's laying in the bed.
It's an inside job, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all.
So we've got Olandria, Iris, and Shelly talking.
Yeah.
America, they feel like, wants to test Jeremiah and Huda's relationship to see if it's as real as they say it actually is.
Facts.
Olandria says, look, America is just seeing things that she's not seeing, and she doesn't know what she's missing. Honestly, Olandria, you peeped it from the jump. The girl's delusional.
Yes.
And you said, you know what? I'm going to let her play in her delusions. With America, we tired of seeing it.
Facts. Facts.
So Jeremiah is hurt and surprised about Nick. He feels like he lost his friends tonight. Austin says, honestly, they're all Ace followers. Ringleader Ace is going to tell them what to do.
That's true.
Ace is across the way telling the other guys it's a scam.
Yes, he is.
You trying to say you made it from the start to the end, and is he the one, basically, is anyone else seeing this? And everybody's kind of mumbling like, yeah, man, I kind of see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want someone actually like who's actually trying to go home. You know, he doesn't want game players in the villa, even though Ace is a little bit of a game player himself.
Yeah.
So Austin doesn't see why Ace is standing, talking so passionately. I mean, he's giving a whole speech, y'all.
Yeah.
To the guys. But Jeremiah appreciates Austin's support of him, and this was a pretty funny scene for me to see Ace across the villa giving his lecture to the men.
Here's the thing. Jeremiah is sad that his bros basically betrayed him in some form of fashion, and now he's left with Austin, right? And Austin already feel insecure every time he see Ace with Shelly. And one thing I want to let y'all know about Shelly, here's the thing about Shelly. Ace and Shelly are exactly the same. They are literally like, Ace is the male version of Shelly, and Shelly's the female version of Ace. They just playing a game, play basically ping pong towards each other and things like that. But Ace is basically, now you can't tell Ace nothing now. This is basically like Ace telling everybody that the earth is flat, and then it actually comes out that the earth is flat. And now he's like, do y'all see what I'm saying? like, you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now, disclaimer, the earth is not flat. But exactly. I'm just letting y'all know.
This is not a flat earther channel.
No. not even close, right? But my whole thing is Ace was really just going off of like, I know I'm not crazy. And now America backed him up. Even though he did not influence America, I want to make that clear. Huda and Jeremiah actually influenced us to vote for Iris to be with Jeremiah based on how they was moving in their relationship. But truth be told, everything Ace said is 100% facts. As watchers of Love Island, you are not going to come to us on some, hey, we are mom and dad of the villa. Hey, every time Huda would speak of their relationship, everybody would cut an eye at them.
Yeah.
Literally, the girls would cut the eye. So when she was talking to the new bombshell, she basically said, me and Jeremiah is the best couple in the villa, and they all just turn their head, right? So the whole idea of what Ace is doing, it is not motivated, because I hear people saying this, it's not motivated by him wanting Huda. That's low hanging fruit, right? If y'all want to go with that simplistic theory, this is not the channel for you, right? We kind of go for the fruit that's like on the top of the tree. You get what I'm saying? It's not as simple as he wants Huda. He's looking at it as, oh no, y'all not going to scam y'all away because y'all are a weird couple on day one. Y'all putting hickeys on each other. Remember, on the first day, she said, I love you to this guy. On the first day, not like day one, episode 3. It was episode 1, day 1. She said, I love you to Jeremiah. And whole time, Huda doing her job and her best effort of telling the camera every time it's around that we are the mom and dad of the villa, that we are the number one couple of the villa. We've been together since day 1. It sounds like you're campaigning. You are campaigning for our votes. And we won't be fooled.
Yeah.
We won't be fooled.
So Hannah pulls Pepe for a chat. She tells him it's not his fault. She doesn't want him to feel bad. And she also doesn't want to invalidate their connection because he's here on his own journey and he deserves to find someone for himself.
Hannah, just say thank you to us. Like truth be told, like I said something in the emergency deep dive that we did earlier today, that hey, the only way that I would believe that this is not an inside job is if Hannah and Amaya start beefing, and they are not beefing. So basically, it was an inside job. I really like Pepe, so hey, in a way, get them out so my hands can be clean. So Hannah, we know what type of girl you are. You're the type of girl that way basically whatever's in front of your face, that's what you're going to focus on. So you're welcome.
And I think this actually contradicts what she said to Charlie.
Facts.
She was telling Charlie that she felt like the relationship with Pepe was surface level and they had something that was deeper and real. And Pepe was somebody that she would usually connect with. But now she's telling Pepe that she doesn't want to invalidate their connection. But is it a shallow connection? Is it a real connection now? So I guess she's willing to explore, since Charlie's gone, to actually see if it can be any deeper. But like you said, I think he's in front of her. She really has no other option. So why not?
Facts.
Huda and Ace talk.
Uh-oh.
Huda wants to know if the guys aren't telling her something about Jeremiah. Ace says, y'all's conversations, y'all are love bombing each other, trying to be locked in since day 1. Nobody is buying that. And Huda says, like, she gets how it looks, and Ace tells her, look, I'm not the only one that's peeping it. Other people here are peeping it. America is peeping it. And it's a red flag that you let him in so quickly. Huda tells him she's investing all her time into one person because she is a mom and it's really not easy to date. And Ace understands that, being that he was raised by a single mother. Huda says she left her daughter for this experience and America just doesn't support that. Ace explains America's position that it is a blessing in disguise. America is saying that this isn't for you.
Maybe. I can't speak for America the same way as Ace can't speak for America. But one thing I will say for sure, based off the rankings that I saw today, Huda is last place. Huda, like 1 and 2 really go back and forth between Olandria and Shelly, right? So here's the thing about Huda, right? Huda is so blindsided by why this happened that she's not looking inward. Right, she's not listening to Ace at all. She basically just want to know, why were you mean to me with your speech, basically.
And what did Jeremiah do?
Basically. So she's thinking Jeremiah did something, and truth be told, I think Jeremiah did nothing, and that's the problem. You get what I'm saying? As he's doing nothing now, as he's still sitting where Austin left him. Right. So this whole idea that basically Ace is saying, I don't think Ace is saying that you didn't get a chance to explore, and that's a red flag that you let someone in. Even though that may be true, I don't think he's saying it for his own benefit. I don't think he's saying it with the intention of, you didn't get a chance to explore with me. I don't think it's like sneaky in that way. I think he just looked at their relationship as toxic. And if it is true that they are really for each other, it will be proven after we just break y'all up. It is kind of, I'm not going to hold you, even though I will say it was petty to say this, for Nick to say like the biggest issue y'all had was pancakes. But remember when Nick and Jeremiah was talking, and Jeremiah was like, today was the first day where I was like, I can't do this. And there wasn't really like a big hiccup. It was basically just little small things going over and over and over again. And I understand being with Huda could be a lot because she demands a lot. She demands to share your location when you don't have your cell phone, when y'all not even in the States.
Well, you don't even have her number.
Exactly. So it's like, I know it's a lot, but I think because she is a mom, And because you do bring it up as you have a whole kid, it does make it seem like you are basically holding off your real feelings, Jeremiah, of how you really feel about her being a mom. You're just cruising.
Yeah.
And basically said, we'll see at the end.
Because you're not actually working through y'all's issues, like y'all's big issues.
Exactly.
You can sit down and talk about pancakes, but anytime that you actually have to confront her attitude, you want to call her cute.
Exactly. And then on top of that, I'm gonna give Huda some flack too. Huda, it is manipulative to build a relationship and then tell him after the fact that you are a mom. I don't care if it wasn't episode 4. You get what I'm saying? You should have led with that so he could have full autonomy on if he even want to go as far as he went with you by episode 4. So that's why I'm like, both of y'all was love bombing each other, as Ace said.
Yeah. And all I can really say is for their conversation is I appreciate Ace's honesty.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody sat here and lied to her face about their intentions and where they were coming from. So that way she could get a fuller picture of what it looks like from the outside. And she's saying she gets it. She says she understands, but all she can do is blame Jeremiah.
Yeah.
So Iris and Jeremiah talk. Iris says, America just sees y'all fighting and thinks that you guys probably should be exploring. Jeremiah is hurt by losing the guys, and Iris tells him, look, things happen for a reason. What's meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah.
Jeremiah is thinking maybe he's doing this wrong, but he doesn't really know. And she encourages him to follow his heart.
Doing what wrong, Jeremiah? That's what I want to know. What do you think he's doing wrong that he had to say that, Blair?
Well, I wanna jump into the mind of Jeremiah for a moment.
Help me.
If I can, in the way that I see it. I'm thinking that Jeremiah is torn.
Okay.
I feel like I did see that he does have an interest in Huda. I think he has a genuine interest in Huda.
Me too.
And I also think that there are a lot of turnoffs when it comes to Huda that he was suppressing to get through the end of this show.
Okay.
But when he's realizing what America has shown him and what the guys are telling him about being open and trying to get to know different people, he's probably thinking to himself, I do have this connection, but it doesn't serve me to be closed off. And I've already said I'm open. America clearly isn't trying to force me to be with this girl.
Yeah.
So maybe I do need to change how I'm moving. Yeah. And I applaud him for coming to the realization and wanting to move differently. But it does kind of look like, so when you was totally locked in and wasn't talking to anybody and barely having conversations with other women, was that because you were so locked in with Huda, or was it the fear of what America would think if you started to explore? But now that you got the okay, you want to explore. It's just very, it's kind of like, it's very gray. I feel like it's gray area. I feel like part of it is that he wants to explore now, but the other part of it is, did you get your what is it? Get out of jail free card.
Oh, okay. Before I respond to what you said, I think it was good. Let this be the first of many apologies that I'm going to give to Iris. Iris, you are our sacrificial lamb. It's not as deep as you making it out to be, because really the raw truth is you was the only girl that was available to be voted with the other 2 bombshell guys. We was going to put whoever girl it was with Jeremiah to break up Huda and Jeremiah, right? But let's go with your inside the mind of Jeremiah thing, right? The reason why it's gray is because there's a mixture of gameplay and a mixture of how he really feels, right? So that's why he said across the lines of, like, maybe I'm doing it wrong. What are you doing wrong? If you really feel someone and you have a real connection, what's wrong about that?
What are your true feelings?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are you doing wrong? So the reason is the reason why he thinks that way is he knows that America don't want them together, but he don't know why. He don't know. Did they see something with me and Iris? We only talked about Uno. Okay. Is it like something that have to do with me? Do they want me with somebody else in here? Or is Huda basically the mole that's sinking the ship? So right now, he's really, like, his wheels is spinning in his head. Only thing he knows for sure is, okay, I can't make it to the end with Huda. I'm doing something wrong. Boom. He just don't know why.
Yeah.
He don't know what's the source. So that's why he's like, is it Iris? Should I be with Iris? But I don't really, like, he even said in the confessional, he said, like, Iris is cool, but I don't feel nothing for her. So, like, I'm not willing to really just be where. Look, I'm willing to win the game, but I'm not willing to win the game with Iris. Like that's where he draws the line. I need to know, and this is why Nick said the biggest issue y'all had was pancakes. Now y'all have a real issue. The real issue is it's America. Look, do y'all remember those shirts from like Detroit versus everybody, right? It should be Jeremiah and Huda versus everybody. If this is the girl you really want, if Jeremiah is the type of guy which he said is, you ain't gonna tell me how to date, I found somebody that I really like, then guess what? It's us versus everybody. But the fact that he said maybe I'm doing it wrong, with, mind you, he didn't even get cussed out yet. You get what I'm saying? He haven't even went to Huda yet. So far, he just contemplating his game plan, in my opinion.
So Huda is second guessing what she has going on. Everything she thought, she is realizing it wasn't true.
Okay, I have a question here. This is not a spoiler channel because y'all should have already watched it. So I'm going to say things. I'm going to jump ahead, jump back a little bit. We know that Huda is like, he didn't even come and check up on me. Why didn't Huda go check up for him?
She said she did. I didn't see it.
Me neither.
She said she did.
She said, I checked up on Charlie. I checked up on How come she didn't pull him for a chat? She always pulls him for a chat. She pulled him for a chat whenever he's talking to a bombshell and things like that. She pulled him for a chat whenever he's over here having a good time with other people. So even though I do feel like he should have checked up on her, I do find it strange that, hey, they're both kind of avoiding each other right now because they don't know why they are where they, and they don't know why they are in the position that they are in by America.
And you would think if one of y'all was to get voted home that night, y'all would have been so grateful to be with each other that y'all would be like all wrapped up underneath each other and crying, talking about we want to sleep together. We're gonna sleep in soul ties tonight.
Come on, well, you can't sleep in soul ties. That's
that's Ace bed.
That's
my
Ace
bad.
bed. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
So Ace and Taylor talk. Well, Ace is giving Taylor a lecture.
Oh yeah.
Ace says, "See, this is what happens when you don't step it up. Can you see yourself being with Olandria long term?" Taylor is saying that he's liking her more and more. Honestly, he really doesn't even say that. He says every day it's
Okay.
And he F's with her. So if he starts stepping it up, it's going to be the best man wins, is what Ace is trying to tell him. And honestly, I don't think Taylor got it in him. I think he might just be a young boy.
He's
just a young dude.
Keep going. I'm going to sum this whole thing up.
So we get to Olandria and Jalen. Olandria did expect this. She actually needed this. It's going to show her which connection is stronger. And right now, she's smiling, happy with Jalen on the dock, eating popcorn or whatever they eating. And it's looking like a vibe to me.
Listen here. Me and Blair, every time I tell Blair while we are watching the show live, I'm like, Blair, I don't see it. She hushed me like a church mother and be like, give it time. Listen here, it's not there. Now, here's the thing about Ace, right? I thought that scene was hilarious, right? Because mind you, Ace is coupled up with Amaya.
Yeah.
Right? He ain't cooking for Amaya. He ain't mentioning Amaya. Amaya and him are beefing, basically, right? And mind you, he's over here. He had the opportunity when he had the power to choose Shelly.
Yeah.
But he didn't, right? Meanwhile, while he's not getting further along, or maybe he is, but he don't know, while he is basically in a loveless marriage, talk about Ace, he's over here chastising Taylor, and I thought it was hilarious. And Taylor, who is taller than this guy, right, is over there basically like, yes, Dad. He's like, you see? This is what I'm talking about. And the thing about this is this. I think Olandria is grateful, as she said verbatim, for America doing this to test her connection. And she said, I've been saying since day one, I like a countryman. So, a countryman is here. And Jalen said that, hey, my eyes been on you since I came in here. But I'm telling you, I think we can agree, Blair. We want something better for Olandria.
Yes.
But the vehicle is not Jalen.
I disagree.
I know.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not Jalen. Somebody said it perfectly in the comments, and somebody said when Jalen asks for that kiss, it's the same as a guy saying, where my hug at? You get what I'm saying? As in, like, Jalen, even though here's the thing, Jalen is better than Taylor, but at the same time, I don't think he is right for Olandria. I know you don't agree, but I just don't see it. I don't feel it. I think she is going to be conflicted, and she would choose Taylor over Jalen.
I hope not.
Well,
we move on to bedtime.
Yeah.
Huda feels stupid for trusting Jeremiah. She was genuine. He was not. He didn't even check on her. She's in the shower cussing up a storm, saying he's a liar, calling him a B word, and Jeremiah says that he never lied to her. When they get into the bedroom, Huda goes in there. She covers her face when she gets in the bed, and it's just so dramatic. Oh my gosh, so dramatic.
She's in the bathroom or she's in the room, wherever. And Jeremiah's in the hallway, and she just cussing up a storm in the shower, calling him a B. That is a red flag to me. That is an automatic cutoff with Christopher, right? Yeah. I do not like women calling men the B word and things of that nature, because me personally, I don't call women the B word. So the fact that this is not about pancakes. This is not about doing more, as Huda would say. This is actually a real conflict. This is not about where we're going to live, who lease is going to be up. I'm a mom. This is a real conflict that, watch this, neither y'all did to each other.
Yeah.
And now we actually get to see what happens when real conflict happens in your relationship. And Huda, you resorted to calling this man out his name.
Yeah.
Jeremiah should take note of that, right? Which I think he already know that she's toxic. I think he already know that she's crazy and things like that. But that's where the scamming part coming at, because he knows he's not cool with that, but he's willing to sit back and basically ride it out to a victory on the show. But that's why I'm like, oh, how about I call you the B word over and over again out loud so everybody hear me call you the B word? Can you sit through that, Jeremiah? Mm-hmm. Are you willing to fight for your relationship now? And I think even though Huda has shown herself, and truth be told, this scene right here, I think this is basically solidify her basically getting voted off the island eventually. We ain't gonna miss twice. I do think, hey, there is something too. Jeremiah, if this is your girl, if no one can tell you how to date, if this is your true connection, you did not check up on her one time throughout this whole time before it was bedtime.
Yeah, and I will say you guys were not drawn to each other. No. Y'all immediately was going at each other's necks.
Started pointing fingers.
If the love is really there and the care is really there, why would Huda need to go to everybody and ask them about their feelings and their situations when you're on the villa and your man is there and you guys have been gifted more time together?
Yeah.
So
that is a good point.
So it's the next day. The new couples get texts early in the morning that they're going on a date.
Yeah.
Hannah says that there's probably going to be a Hurricane Huda when we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah sees America was looking out for him for Huda's behavior, the cussing, calling him names and all that type of stuff. So he's kind of, it's like I don't want to say he's starting to realize, because he's realized it this whole time with his eye rolling and his reactions and all these things that he's been, kind of like suppressing throughout his relationship. But now that he sees that we see it, now he feels comfortable enough to make actions. It's interesting.
That's all. It is interesting.
Yeah.
As Ace would say, see what I'm talking about? Like he's like, that's the scam that I think it is. I think he's willing to make the change as long as he's willing to be like, oh, America sees this, so I got to basically fit in with America. Besides how it's like, no, it's a little too late now.
And I will say, if I can give Jeremiah any type of benefit of the doubt, if we want to take a break from calling it scamming and, all this type of stuff, that sometimes people are just not confident in themselves and their decisions. And they need the backing and the support and the knowledge of someone else behind a decision before they can actually make a decision. And I don't know if that might be where Jeremiah is at in his maturity, because that's a possibility. I'm not going to rule it out, but for the sake of the game, you still can't win. Sorry.
No, you can't. No.
So Huda is the first to wake up. She wakes Taylor up and says the bombshells are on a date. Huda said that he did her dirty, and now he gets rewarded by going on a date. Taylor is talking to Nick, talking about, she woke me up, bro. And Nick is like, okay, well, waking me up isn't going to bring him back. So just the comments between Taylor, Nick, even Hannah talking about Hurricane Huda, I'm kind of like, for some of the girls who say they're girls, they're not being real enough with Huda.
No, they're not. They're not. You're right, Blair. Call it out.
I think that a lot of them are trying to kind of like, coo her and just kind of like make sure that she's comfortable and trying to tell her, girl, it's not you, it's him, it's America, it's all these different people. The only person that I think came close to being real with Huda was Olandria, by saying that she needs to keep an open mind and maybe listen to what America is saying. But nobody's really telling Huda that she's out of order. We need Iyanla. I'm like, where's the counselors at?
No.
I mean, and I was really saving the counselors for later on, to when she was really like, she was really going off, because I don't want anybody to end up like mentally broken after a reality show. for any reality shows.
Yeah.
I always feel like people should come in as whole or just as better than when they leave. Like, this shouldn't be something that, you know, changes the trajectory of your life or your mental health. And so I feel like if Huda is really on this downward spiral the way that she's showing to be, like, somebody check in with her and make sure she's okay.
But she's doing it to herself.
She's doing it to herself, but sometimes people do it to themselves because they don't know any better way.
Yeah.
You know?
Here you hit the thing on the head. Outside of Jeremiah, the people that Huda been with the most is who? The girls, right?
Yeah.
But can you imagine what the girls have to hear all the time? Me and Jeremiah this. Jeremiah is that.
And Amaya was telling her, I think Jeremiah is doing enough.
Yeah.
You got to yell at Huda. I think that's the only way she can hear.
You can't. like it's almost like a toxic relationship. Like, you can't call the cops enough. You can't hug enough. You can't get other counselors enough. That person has to decide what to do, when to leave, all the above.
Yeah.
Huda has already made it up in her head. This is how crazy that they know she is. That they can't even talk her out of. It's Jeremiah's fault. She said, look, the bombshells are gone and Jeremiah get rewarded for it, as if he planned the date. Like as in she's just seeing red. Yeah. So when it comes down to the girls being real with her, I think at certain points they try to allude to being real, but Huda's the type of person to where, guess what? She's not going to listen. And I think all the girls know that. Hannah haven't been there since day one. So the fact that she said Huda storm and things like that, like, everybody is hip to basically beware of Huda and let Huda basically punch herself out and things like that.
Yeah, so Ace recruits Nick and Taylor,
of course,
to throw a ping pong pancake date for him and Shelly.
Okay.
So we move on to the date. Iris and Jeremiah go kayaking. Olandria and Jalen are walking on the beach holding hands. Yeah. And Hannah and Pepe do some snorkeling.
Yeah. Hannah look happy today, don't she? Okay, I see you, Hannah.
So Shelly, when she ends up talking to Austin after her date with Ace, she's talking about she still don't know what she wants to do in regards to it. But I think later on she has a deeper conversation, and basically she has to keep giving this man a pep talk. I'm over at this point.
Oh yeah, here's the thing. How did you feel about Ace's date though?
I mean, the date was definitely good. It was fun. I think Ace is very creative and intentional.
Yeah.
The only thing is I don't take Ace seriously. You know, I just don't.
I think here's the thing about it, right? Austin said he likes Shelly and he wants to build something with Shelly and things like that. But like you said, he needs these constant pep talks, right? If Ace is someone who can be creative, I guess my question is to Austin, which I'm kind of befuddled a little bit, is Austin, why every day, you know, like, Ace is going to do some, Austin.
Yeah. How
do you allow Ace to beat you to the punch every morning? Like you don't have nothing planned for the morning? You don't have nothing planned for the day? Whole time she get to play and have ping pong and things like that with Ace, and you just sit there with your eggs and things like that. And here's the thing about it. I'm not really having beef with Austin over that, because truth be told, I think Shelly is basically stringing along Austin. Shelly knows who she like.
Yeah.
And Shelly knows who she connect with. And that's why Austin, he needs pep talk, because he's keep getting confused. I wish Austin would get the hint and just move on. Hey, guess what? There's a girl on the island who is unhappy with the person that she's with, and it so happens to be with the guy that you don't like.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't really understand why he needs these constant pep talks. And I would say this. I think you can agree that, hey, a girl don't want to keep giving a guy that's supposed to be basically interested in, and y'all supposed to be interested in each other. I don't want to have to keep building you up and things like that. It just shows that you lack confidence. And even though you say, like, you know, he's the shortest guy here and things like that, listen, Ace is taking upon himself to lead.
Yeah.
If you want to have time with Shelly, make time for Shelly.
So we see Pepe and Hannah on their date.
Yeah.
She's talking about how she wants to keep her identity in a relationship. He wants someone who's driven and passionate and who loves what they do.
Yeah.
Hannah's all smiles, y'all. You would have never known the girl was crying yesterday.
Hannah, you're welcome. Okay, just say thank you.
Jalen and Olandria give each other massages. They talk about both being raised by single moms, and Olandria wants to be in her soft girl, lover girl era, but the longer she's single, she feels like she's having to be more kind of masculine and strong and protecting her heart.
Yeah, she says she's protecting that soft girl, that little girl. And guess what? That's fair. Hopefully we get to see that.
Yeah, so we see Ace, Taylor, and Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Ace is telling us what Taylor's problem is.
Yeah, again.
So Taylor's problem is that he has no sense of urgency. He says breakfast now is the bare minimum. You need to find out how to get your woman back, get creative, and listen to what she likes.
And matter of fact, what you said was excellent, but something that Taylor said that was actually made me go, dang, he lost.
What?
He said, well, what can like we do on the island?
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's like he's not even thinking.
No, it's like, you know what? You are supposed to be a cowboy. You like supposed to, like, you do Ace got to plan your dates too? You have no sense of urgency. You're waiting for basically the producers to say y'all go on a date, or basically whatever you got to do for the day. You let the producers basically text you and say, hey, I got a text. But whole time Ace has been making breakfast, making it seem like it's something special. It's the same pancakes every day. But he got y'all putting on jackets, blazers and things like that.
Yes.
And the whole time you over there, while you, not only are you seeing what Ace is doing, you are a participant. Because he's recruiting you every morning to do something, giving you lines to say.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And whole time you're like, well, what can we do? We stuck here in Fiji on the island. Nothing, Taylor.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
Exactly. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
Jalen, you keep doing what you're doing.
Jalen is not the vehicle, okay? It's not going to happen.
So we get to Huda talking to Amaya.
Yeah.
Huda said he didn't even check on her, and she takes the lead because he is a B. Amaya says Jeremiah was making it all about him, and Huda says, yeah, he's selfish. She sees what he's doing, and it would take a miracle for him to win her back.
No, it wouldn't take a miracle. And Huda is right and wrong. Here's the thing about it. He did not check up on her. That is, I'm not going to say red flag. I just find it very interesting. But at the same time, Huda, we see how you act when there's a little hiccup in your relationship. A real hiccup.
Yeah.
Not the ones that you make up and you trying to basically get him to do more because you see the guys downstairs doing stuff for their girl. A real hiccup. What you do, you resort to actually insulting the guy, calling him out his name, and basically almost making it impossible for him to basically make up with you.
Yeah.
So guess what? Many times than not, you find yourself in these situations based off of your actions.
Yeah. So we get to Iris and Jeremiah.
Yeah.
They're talking about why he came to Love Island. He said he was looking for a best friend, and he's usually more funny. And Iris says, I can tell you're a goofy guy.
Yeah.
They're both from LA and agree that people in LA with dating can be crazy, thinking that you guys are going to get married the next day. And Jeremiah's like, I know from experience recently. Iris says that she's someone who likes to take things slow, and she's here if he ever wants to talk. She is interested in getting to know him and wants to know his thoughts. And he wants to hit a reset button with Iris. And he said, look, America put us together for a reason.
Yeah, she was our sacrificial lamb. And again, Iris, I apologize for that. Number two, Jeremiah, as much as I'm not a fan of Huda, I am not going to put the blame on Huda for you not being your true self and you not being able to shine and things like that. You feel like, hey, I am a funny guy. I am going to participate in challenges. I am going to actually enjoy a Fiji vacation for 6 weeks and things like that. Huda did not make you not enjoy it. You, not having a backbone, decided to basically seclude yourself and isolate yourself, and basically I'm not gonna make you put that on somebody else to where, oh, now I get to press the reset button. No, you chose to be the way you are because you thought that, hey, at the end I get a bigger prize at the end. So
yeah. So Shelly and Austin, this is where Austin is talking about he doesn't want to do the love triangle anymore, and she's giving him the pep talk. So Huda and Nick talk. Nick says that he loves everyone. The decision wasn't easy, and he was disappointed about how people are moving in the villa and choosing the easy route, which he considered Jeremiah to be doing. He feels like Huda was also being overbearing when it came to the new bombshells coming in, telling the bombshells that he's your man when you guys aren't even closed off.
Yeah.
Huda tells him she's very understanding, and Nick says, to be honest, I'm kind of intimidated by you. And I don't think that's a good look, I think that Nick, number one, thankful for the honesty, but I also feel like Huda does not hear him.
She don't hear him at all.
I don't think that she recognizes that her overbearing isn't attractive to the other men on the island, or even to her man. Even though he's saying it's cute and all this type of stuff, like halfway part of me thinks that he might be a little scared of her. Halfway part of me thinks that what I've been saying this whole time, that he's going to try to stomach it so he can win some money, But with Nick, it's not a good look to intimidate people on the island. Like, you're not here to be a bully, Huda.
Yeah.
So,
here's the thing about it, which I find very interesting. That's why even though I gave Huda just a little bail out of jail with the whole, like, Jeremiah didn't approach you, she is approaching the guys that voted her out.
Yeah.
And not the guy that she was in a real relationship with. her words.
Real.
So that's why I'm like, hey, you over here pulling Ace to the side, and you kind of want an explanation for that. And then at the end of the conversation, after he basically said y'all scamming and y'all fake, you give him, okay, thanks, bro. And then you go to Nick, and basically at the end of that conversation, oh, thanks, bro. Like basically, like, so how come you couldn't approach Jeremiah? Even though I do put some of the onus on Jeremiah to, hey, if this is a real relationship, approach your girl. But I do find it that, hey, she's willing to reconcile with the actual people that said, Huda.
And that's my thing. Is like, the thing is, I'm putting it 50-50 on both of them.
Yeah.
Because y'all were not drawn to each other after America split y'all up. So y'all low-key hate each other this whole time. Like, I don't know. So Ace and Shelly, he's trying to figure out where she's ticklish at. And this is where she says that she doesn't think she can trust him. And he kisses her on the cheek. I was hoping that she would get some sense about her. But they're talking about tickling.
But of course, listen, Shelly, a lot of people saying, oh my goodness, we need to save our girl Shelly. Shelly is Ace and Ace is Shelly. Shelly is running game too.
Yeah.
Ace is running game. If you're going to eliminate Ace, you got to eliminate Shelly. Like, it just is what it is.
So the couples are back from the date. Everybody is waving, saying, hey, Huda's got an attitude, talking about she don't give a F. When Olandria gets back, Taylor picks her up and kisses her.
Okay, Taylor.
So we've got the guys and the girls break off. But what's a little unusual is that the bombshells are upstairs talking to each other instead of being broken up with the guys and the girls. Jeremiah says he had fun, fills the guys in on the date. And he says, at this point, Huda's kind of cooked right now. Jeremiah would have rather Huda have gone home because of her reaction. And Nick asks, well, why didn't you comfort her? As a man, you should be there for the woman that you say you're committed to.
Yeah.
Jeremiah didn't want to, so he didn't. And Nick says, look, the relationship has been going through a lot, but last night was a big challenge for you guys. And if you can't or don't want to work through it, it sounds like you want Huda. But because she called you a bee in the shower, it's like you want to give up on her. Jeremiah now feels like he's in the hot seat for exploring.
Yeah.
So the girls were talking. Hannah said that, talking about Pepe, she was surprised by how nice he was and all this type of stuff. Huda leaves to go to the bathroom, but she comes and goes by the guys and basically hears everything that they were saying.
Yeah.
She's telling him, by all means, explore, tells him F you. And she feels like he's using her as a scapegoat to stay in the game. He wants to drop her to stay with Iris, and she, across the villa, is just yelling at him, calling him all these beat words.
Here's the thing, right? Multiple things can be true at the same time, right? Jeremiah is free to, because Jeremiah said something which is true. He said, first, y'all give me flack for not exploring, for being basically in this one person relationship the whole time, and now y'all told me to explore, and now you over here talk about, oh, because she called you the B word, you don't want to explore no more. Yes, if you look at it on that surface level, right? Sure, right? There is no excuse. That's why I say I think this scene right here actually put the postal stamp on Huda's behind, and she's up out of there the minute that we get another vote that votes somebody off the island. She's out of there. And truth be told, I don't think she is as well positioned in the villa individually amongst the guys and girls to be saved this time, right? I think it is within Jeremiah's right to be like, hey, our first hiccup, she called me the B word. She's yelling at me across the villa. She's calling me the P word. She's calling me basically reproductive organs and things of that nature, right? And I think it is within him right. It is within his right to not take that lightly. I know Nick is saying things like, okay, she called you the B word and she called you the B word one time and things like that. But that's the thing about it. Nick haven't been in a relationship, so he don't really understand that Jeremiah been suppressing. Really, this is what happens when you lie. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Because we really don't really know how you're feeling throughout the whole time of this relationship, Jeremiah. But I will say that it is strange, which is I give Nick 100% credit for, that at no point you went over to at least console her or have a conversation, right? Jeremiah used the excuse of my mind was scrambled, I was burnt out, I was worried and things like that. And look, he basically said, look, I didn't. I can't take it back. And he always have this idea of the way Jeremiah talks is almost like he can't control. He said, look, I cannot control what I didn't do or what I did and things like that. But when you're questioned about it, it does give off, hey, if you really did care as much as you say you do, Jeremiah, right? We would expect the bare minimum, using Ace word, of A, you did not talk to her the night that she almost got eliminated. Yeah. that is kind of strange arranged for me, right? So I do think, even though it is strange, I also think it is within Jeremiah's right to be like, I don't want to be with a girl like that, because this kind of confirms what I've been going through this whole time. He should not be with Huda.
Yeah.
Huda should not be with this guy, because Huda has shown herself to basically not be rational, to basically be what's the word? Not dangerous. I'm not gonna put that on her name, but basically be immature, right? And why would anybody want to explore you? Not only Jeremiah, but all the guys that's on the villa now.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where I kind of like sometimes get stuck in the gray area with Jeremiah, because he's right. I mean, you guys were saying I wasn't exploring. Now I go explore, and now you're telling me that I need to like stand up for my relationship, but I'm doing what y'all told me to do. But I think that's the point, Jeremiah. People don't want you to do what they tell you to do. What do you want?
Exactly.
Like, what is actually real to you? What is genuine for you? And do that. And I think that's what Jeremiah is missing, because he's trying to find the right way to do things, or what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
What do you want? You know what I'm saying? And move from that. Like Iris gave him the best advice. Go with your heart. Do what your heart tells you to do. And that's what's going to be genuine and actually be able to get you into a situation to where things can flourish.
Yeah.
And that, I don't think it'll be with Huda,
no,
but
it can't be.
But it might be with Huda if you guys can actually get to a healthier place.
Yeah, facts.
So Huda pulls Iris for a chat. And she tells, we going to Soul Ties because that's the closest place. Boys, you need to go downstairs. And they're trying to like hang back just in case Huda might want to throw her over the balcony or something. And so she's asking him what happened on the date. And she tells him, look, we had a conversation. He was open to explore connections. And Huda says that, look, she doesn't do second chances. All the girls go up there just to make sure things don't get too crazy.
Yeah.
And Iris tells her the date was them sitting on the beach. And Huda says, that was my dream date.
Okay. Sure. She's not right in the head, guys. It's fine though.
Iris tries to tell her this isn't anything to be upset about. Don't try to fight for someone who doesn't give you what you need, because basically you've been complaining about this man the whole time,
at least for 2 days,
and now you want to crash out, girl.
Yeah.
So A says, you know, this is what we were trying to save you from. This is where all that love bombing and all that type of stuff leads to. You set the bar so high that you can't come back from that. So the girls are telling her that he doesn't need access to her anymore. And Huda is talking about how, you know, once they have those conversations, she's talking to Olandria saying Iris isn't a girl's girl and she moves crazy.
And this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So Nick just wants to support Jeremiah now. He's like, look, man, I know I was hard on you, you know, the past couple of days, and I'm just here to support you and be your friend.
Here's the thing about it. As Blair said, even though this is a vacation, this is a TV show, which makes it a work environment. And Huda, you're not making it a safe or a fun work environment. Go home.
Yeah.
It's literally that plain and simple. You don't know who to be mad at. At first, you are confused if America hates you or like they hate Jeremiah. Then all of a sudden you hate Jeremiah because you feel like that's what America feels because Orlando put some seeds in your head. Then eventually you go to Iris and things like that, as if Iris was the one that picked Jeremiah. Maybe it was some secret conversation I didn't see. And now you're in the makeup room after you basically forced this girl to have a conversation with you, talk to me, and basically let me tell you if you did something or didn't do something on the date that you had no control over. And then he said, we ain't do nothing but sit on the beach. My dream date. Girl, you are wild. You get what I'm saying? Now you're in the room, which we're gonna see. Please, Huda. I just need Huda gone after movie night because I think she needs to see herself. Right? People like that don't really see how unhinged they are.
I'm fine with her watching herself at home.
Okay.
And we got all these little, not little, but we've got all these different interview platforms and stuff like that.
No.
Come out and speak better for yourself if you learn something.
No. 100%. I disagree with you.
Okay.
I do not want to hear from people. I only like you and care about you if you're on the show. I don't care about if you on these other platforms and now we got to listen to 9 podcasts that get basically the same story in 9 different ways. Huda needs to see herself on movie night, right? So she can offer apologies and things of that nature and actually be held accountable by the people that she said, you're not a girl's girl. She's a B word and all these things. The problem with Huda is that it's not that she's just crazy in her relationship. She's crazy in her platonic relationships. So that's why it goes back to your point of there's no redeeming qualities. She's not funny. She's not nice to be around. Whole time she tried to put the blame on Olandra early in the season. Talk about Olandra hurt my feelings, and then eventually once Olandra basically played it back, like, girl, I'm sorry. Now all of a sudden that's your sister. I see you wanted to be mad at Olandra for kissing your man, but you realize that, hey, Olandra is really up there, and you're really like, So that's why I'm like, Huda needs to see herself, because I don't think she realized how unhinged she is acting.
So it's nighttime, and Jeremiah finally pulls Huda for a chat.
Finally.
He apologizes, and he says that in the situation, he was not there for her. He acknowledges he shut down, and he should have been there for her.
Yeah.
Huda tells him, you play the victim, you were selfish, and she was seconds from getting voted off, and she was still checking on everybody else, and he didn't give a F about her.
Okay.
Jeremiah said that he was checked out. He just didn't have enough to give. And Huda said, I cried myself to sleep. You were in the bed with another woman. You're the reason why I acted how I acted, and she doesn't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
Pause.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anybody get you to act up out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And Huda, this whole, you're the reason why I acted what I acted. No. You're the reason why you act how you act, because like you said, it trickles out into the way that you treat the girls.
Yes.
It trickles into how you talk about the guys and how you move about the villa. So no, I don't like this whole blaming other people for you going balls to the wall. That's absolutely ridiculous. No.
What did Jeremiah say? I don't know. You wasn't here, but Jeremiah was up on a balcony back earlier in the season, and he was expressing how he felt to Huda one time, and that's when he was like, you know what, you're rude, right? And then
I was here for that.
And then were you here?
Yeah.
Right. He said, you're rude. And then that's when he was like, you gaslight me. You gaslight me. And what did she use in that moment as a way to basically get his mind off of it?
Her coochie.
Trying to say, hey, do you want to shower together and things of that nature? I'm sorry. Like, and whole time he was like, nah, man, I'm out of here. Shut up. And that's why I'm like, what she's doing right now, she's gaslighting him, right? Basically, she's like, you didn't defend me. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. You didn't do this. I see these patterns. You wasn't there for me. Basically putting 20 on 10. There's things that Jeremiah should take accountability for, but Huda is not acting outside of herself. This is who she is. So like, that's why I'm like, oh, we're not going to miss 2 times in a row. We going to get her out of here.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we cannot picture someone like Huda as our winner of Love Island season 7. Like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't match.
And I'm going to throw this out there, this ring in a hat of the possibility of people pleasing being an issue when it comes to their dynamic.
Okay.
And maybe that's part of where Jeremiah is coming from, if we want to kind of put Scammer to the back burner.
Okay.
And I will say that people pleasing does nothing for you nor the person that you're in a relationship with, because none of it is real.
None of it is
real. And so that's why it can be interpreted and looked at from so many different angles, because it's not a genuine connection with genuine feelings and genuine expression of what you're going through, because you're constantly trying to people please. And so that might be something that Jeremiah needs to work on individually, if that's where it's coming from, because y'all telling me to do this, so now I'm doing this. Y'all tell me to do this, and now I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, like, Jeremiah, you need to learn to figure out what it is that you want and go for it, no matter what anybody else says.
That's 100%.
And whether
facts.
or not it's going to win you the money too.
Yeah, like 100% facts. Throughout this conversation, Huda was getting disrespectful, and Jeremiah at this point now, all of a sudden, it's kind of hard, and not to compare it to pets, but it's kind of hard to where if you have somebody or if you have something and you've been basically letting it run amok all this time, now all of a sudden you want to actually be like, oh no, you can't talk to me that way. She's been talking to you since you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So now she's being disrespectful, and now he's like, well, hold the F on. Like basically now all of a sudden you got a backbone. But here's the thing about it. She wants you to have a backbone, but not against her though.
Yeah.
And my thing is this. Now I call both of them to the carpet. Jeremiah, can you be with someone that is like this 100%, to where, guess what, sharing locations? If she's wilding out about challenges, listen, they basically prophesied that part. Do you think on the outside world she's going to wild out? You see how she's calling you the B word in the villa in front of your friends? In front of the women and things like that, basically, while at the same time making you untouchable, still ruining your game, right, and things of that nature. And now I'm looking at Jeremiah like, okay, what are you gonna do? You said you like this girl, it's real to you. Are you gonna fight for this? Because you said you like it and this is your girl. And Huda, right? You said you are a mother, right? You are somebody that basically you ain't coming here to play. You came in here for a serious relationship because on the outside, everybody leave you and nobody's serious. But whole time you said that he don't really take initiative and things like that, and he didn't check up on you. So do you want a man that don't check up on you when you're going through something? Now I'm calling both of them to the carpet.
Yeah.
Do y'all really like each other?
Yeah.
Outside of the, oh, my man just gotta be gorgeous. That's what Huda said about, basically her type. And she said Jeremiah is gorgeous. Outside of that, it just seems like y'all not really supposed to be with each other. And y'all should just say thank you to us. We help y'all. Pretty much.
Pretty much. And that's all I got.
And one more apology to Iris. Listen here. You was our you was our sacrificial lamb. We just needed somebody with Jeremiah. Okay? Enjoy your time on the villa, in the villa. If we need you again, we will use you again. Anything else?
Nope.
Listen here. I don't think they do episodes on Wednesdays, right? So we may do a deep dive on Wednesday, depending what happens based on the information that we have so far. I think we gave y'all enough information. We gave you an hour episode, including the deep dive today. So right now, there is no deep dive that's going to happen on Wednesday. But depending on tomorrow's episode, it might be. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see y'all.
Bye.